Yeah. 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 So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest, not a bit of conflicts or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge. They don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like. Wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because their agenda's a disguise. Tune in to the intellect, cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifting. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.
Hello, everyone. It's Pam Esquire, also known as your Law Intellect. I am back. I was on earlier today for a couple of hours reporting on the Y&W Melly case where that trial has concluded. So now they're doing jury instructions and then we'll have closing arguments. And after that, I took that good church nap. I said I had one of the best naps that I have had in a long time. But then I started getting a bunch of DMs, phone calls, emails, inboxes about the situation related to Bishop Whitehead and Tasha K. So I see some of you guys are in the chat. We're asking, what happened? Some of the bloggers are saying that they dropped the case. Well, the long and the short of it was Whitehead did not drop the case against Tasha K. But we're going to get into it. First, we're going to see what the blogger reported. And then this blogger and Whitehead were going back and forth, I guess, today, because I seen it in the chat, so that we can all catch up at the same time. I did go pull a couple of documents that I saw, and I have the video from Whitehead. In the video, he had his attorney explain exactly what was going on. So I'm going to play that video as well. It's about 40 minutes, so we're going to be on here for a minute. But I just want to start from the beginning so we can all go over it at the same time. What's up to everybody? You know how we say it in Detroit. What up, though? And yeah, you guys know I love each and every one of you guys. I got to get through this because I got a toothache, child, and it's just been horrible. And I was napping, but because so many people wanted me to discuss it, I figured I'll look into it and see what was going on. And so that's what we're going to go over real quick. So over here on Good Instagram, there was a post by the North Carolina Beat. Shout out to everybody that did send it to me. And essentially, what it has is exclusive. Popular YouTuber Tasha K scored a big win in New York court Tuesday after a $360 million lawsuit was filed against her by Bishop Lamar Whitehead, who claimed she made slanderous and defamatory statements about him, was dropped. Sources told the North Carolina Beat Tuesday that the courts ruled that Tasha K's recent bankruptcy filing shields her from Whitehead's lawsuit. Whitehead thought he could proceed with his lawsuit despite Tasha K's recent bankruptcy filing after the case moved from New York State Court to the Eastern District of New York Federal Court. Unfortunately, his attorneys didn't have enough experience in civil law to go against Tasha K's attorneys. Bankruptcy attorney, the Van Horn Law Group, Florida's First Amendment rights attorney, Atherton, Gallardi, Mullen, and Reader PLLC, along with attorney Ballard Spar, was their New York office, all worked to get Tasha K dropped from the lawsuit Tuesday morning, according to our sources. In addition to the lawsuit, Lamar Whitehead also sued Yellen Entertainment LLC, claiming Tasha K owned the company. Sources tell North Carolina Beat that Tasha K does not own Yellen Entertainment LLC. First Amendment rights firm attorney Ballard Spar, the world's fourth largest firm from New York, is also working to get Yellen removed from Whitehead's complaint. Whitehead filed a suit initially on June 6, 2023, before moving to the Eastern District of New York on July 10, 2023. Now the lawsuit will go nowhere, and the dreams of Lamar Whitehead winning $360 million will never come true. His primary focus now should be his many criminal federal cases lined up that will possibly land him more the time in jail than he's been pasturing. So, of course, that caused some back and forth in the chat. Whitehead has some things to say. I wonder if his will come up on here or not. But people had a lot to say. Let me see. I don't see his comments. I was seeing them earlier. Let me see if I could pull it up on my phone. So that was the article, the blog that everybody was talking about for those that were asking about it in the article. I mean, in the comments. I'm sorry. Let me see. I wonder why it's not showing up on here. So yeah, Whitehead had the first comment where he said, "LOL, lies, garbage, and trash. Please get your facts straight." And then in North Carolina, they had some back and forth. North Carolina B said, "As long as you keep it cute, sis." Then other people were saying different things. And then Whitehead responded to the North Carolina B, "Are you mad because your mother is actually a man asking for a friend?" So they was going back and forth in these comments. So then apparently there was also a phone call that was posted as well. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that. So this was another post, because this is what he said under the post. "Y'all self-proclaimed and not God-ordained Bishop Dirty, aka," and then at Lamar Whitehead is mad because I had sources in his and Tasha K's court hearing today, and my source reported back that Tasha K was dropped from the $360 million lawsuit he filed due to her recent bankruptcy filing. And his lawyer is mad because I said he didn't have enough experience in civil law to go against Tasha K's attorney. So he texted us and asked to remove the story because it was not true. But when I called, Lamar couldn't provide me any evidence that Tasha K wasn't dropped from the lawsuit. So he started insulting me. When he hung up, I figured I'd let my beat mob hear this recording. See previous post. Let me see.
Keep it up. Keep it up there then.
I'm sorry?
Keep it up there then, brother.
Of course.
So this is supposed to be a conversation that occurred between the two.
Hello?
Hold on 1 second.
I said, how do all these people got each other's numbers?
Is this Bishop Whitehead?
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
I ain't got nobody's number.
Yeah, how may I help you, man?
Well, you sent us a text message about a story we put up regarding you and Tasha K. So I'm just giving you a call.
Oh yeah. That's false story. Yeah, I text you.
Okay, so how is it false?
That's what do you mean? Do your research on it.
I've already done my research on it. I've had sources who I've vetted and was in court today. So I'm just trying to understand what proof can you provide to me?
All right, so keep it up. Keep it up there then.
I'm sorry?
Keep it up there then, brother.
Of course.
I said keep it up there then.
Do you have any proof to get it removed? I mean, you reached out to me to talk, so
I'm telling you that it's inaccurate.
But your word, your sources, but your word means nothing, Bishop, because you are a known liar.
Problem. So your mother's a known liar.
Listen, who cares? Is that all you have?
All right then. All right, cool.
Okay, so do your big one tonight and watch me do mine. Because I'm not scared of a lawsuit. So you can sue me all you want to. You're not gonna win. Because listen, I have schools, I have college, I have law schools that represent the North Carolina beat. So you know exactly.
I said keep it up there then.
Do you have any proof to get it removed? I mean, you reached out to me to talk, so
I'm telling you that it's inaccurate.
But your word, but Your word means nothing, Bishop, because you are a known liar.
That we already heard that part. So I think that was the whole thing that they had on there. So that is what was going on while I was asleep. And then everybody sent this to me. So of course I wanted to look at, I have not, first of all, let me get my disclaimer. Y'all know I do not do bankruptcy law. I don't do none of that. But I haven't really been following this lawsuit. But this was very interesting, especially since people were asking me about it. So they were asking me, was it dropped? So of course I wanted to look into it, and I'm going to present you with the accurate information that I was able to find. So in the midst of all of this, Whitehead, of course, did a live. And in that live, he let me see. He had his attorney, which is Brian Ponder, explained what was going on with the lawsuit. So again, this is like 40 minutes. So we're going to be here for a few minutes because I'm going to play it, perhaps stop it where it needs to be stopped at. But okay.
Yo, listen, if he's on my team, you know he's integral. You know he's integral, and he does a hell of a job. And asking God to keep him focused on an amazing job and don't switch up. But anyway,
and just to let you guys know too, the audio was coming in and out. So this is, it may have times where it's a bit choppy, but he does explain what happened with the lawsuit. And then I have the document as well that I was able to show. I'm sorry.
We are here today to talk about Tasha K. That rhymed a little bit, Brian. That rhymed a little bit. But
Right.
people still coming on, and they're coming on. But I want to talk about Tasha K because this lunatic blogger, Tasha K, and some other guy, they posted talking about that our lawsuit that we filed against Tasha K, which is inaccurate. So Brian, I want Brian to talk to you guys a little bit about what we're doing and a little bit about what we had to do, so we can let the world understand what Bishop Whitehead is doing. The Tasha K lawsuit is not dropped. It is not dropped. And for that blogger, he wants us to sue him. He's talking about, oh, and I want it, and you can sue me. No, I wouldn't even. You didn't say nothing defamatory, but they posted stated that he was in court. It was a court proceedings today, which is a lie. All this nonsense. Brian, go ahead and give them a little bit about what we're doing with Tasha.
Sure. And can you hear me okay?
Yep. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So yeah, so the Tasha K matter, and as everybody knows, Tasha K was not always necessarily, an enemy. It's just at some point she took a turn, and she's not loyal to anything but lies. It appears. But at some point, she took a turn and began to take her relationship with Bishop Whitehead as one that she wants to basically, make a scandal out of and say things that are just untrue. And, that's her business. But at some point, she has to understand that her rights, to conduct her gossip business ends when other people's rights are affected. So she said some egregious things that were put up on her website and broadcast to millions of people, and that content, like other content, has caused a chilling effect to your business. Investors see the information that's false and don't want to do business with you. And so a lot of people really can't understand why you sue people for saying things. Well, when people say things that are lies that affect your livelihood, you can either do nothing and lose your livelihood, or do something to try to get back what you had. And so that's what what you did, Bishop Whitehead. So we sued Tasha K back on July 10th of this year for making various statements and also by using your likeness and name without your permission. And this lawsuit was filed in the state court in Brooklyn, New York, on July 10th, 2023 of this year. And to make it simple, it's a defamation type case. It's also a case that involves the it's called right of privacy, but people, you have a right to privacy, but right to privacy also includes you have a right to your name and likeness. People can't use your name and likeness for their own commercial purpose to make a lot of money off of you without you consenting to it. And so that's what the case is about, and to keep it simple. And the case was filed on July 10th. However, the videos that were released they were released on her website around late May, around May, approximately the 25th, approximately maybe the 23rd as well. On or about May 25th of this year is when she released these videos on her website. And that date becomes important because on May 25th of this year, she filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy in South Florida. All right. So what does that mean? A lot of people hear the word bankruptcy and think that it means just one thing, but there are different types of bankruptcy. According to the court records, she filed the bankruptcy because the Cardi B judgment, which is over $3 million, was something she wanted to protect herself from losing everything she had to satisfying it. So that was the largest debt that she had at this time. And according to the last bankruptcy hearing, she claims she spent $300,000 defending herself. And
Brian, you breaking up a little bit. Hold on. You breaking up a little bit. Hold on. All right, you clearing up now. All right, so let's stop right there real fast, right? Hold that thought. So Brian is breaking down the case, right? And I want you guys to really follow it because everyone keeps telling me, Bishop, why are you suing people? So he's breaking down the damages that happened to me because you guys don't see it. You guys don't have to go through. You guys don't have to go through these views. All right, this dude right here, the North Carolina. That's the one that did that fake story. The North.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get to him. So I'm gonna leave you up there. I ain't even gonna block you. But anyway, so Brian is explaining to you guys what you don't see. So for everybody that is up here and everybody talking about let God handle it, it's my civil right to protect my name, my livelihood, and that's why Brian is doing what he is supposed to do. He's breaking down the case as far as why we're suing her, and he's going through the formalities. Now, remember, he's putting out there that the case was dropped, which it wasn't. So Brian is about to explain to you that it's not dropped. Okay, so go ahead, Brian.
Okay, so someone just said don't come for the baddest new North Carolina blogger. Well, he's bad, all right. I mean,
good.
And I made a comment on his paper's site. Basically, we have alerts, and so we got an alert today of an article that says that the $360 million lawsuit against Tasha K was dropped. Simply, that's a lie. And Gerald, I think Gerald Jackson is his name. I wrote him an email to clarify what his sources allegedly told him, but it's simply a lie. And I provided him with the paperwork. The lawsuit against Tasha K simply is not dropped. When Tasha K filed that bankruptcy.
Hold on a second, Brian. I just want to show the people that I can't show him on this phone. I did it on my other phone. But anyway, we contacted that guy because he wants clout. That's why he's up here talking.
Oh, okay. So he's on here now. So North Carolina beat, yeah, and he can have all the clout he likes from this. No, I'm not concerned about the part about me not say I can't practice law. I don't care about insults. That's not a problem. The concern was, and I'll post the letter that I wrote this North Carolina beat, and the Carolina beat took my comment down because it speaks to his lack of integrity as a journalist. He claims to have a source tell him one thing, and he has no journalistic integrity to email me to confirm that or to get information from the source to confirm that it's true. Simply put, the lawsuit was not dropped, so that article is complete garbage, and that journalist is complete garbage. Now I'll tell him to his face. Okay, and matter of fact, if you want to come on here, we'll give you the opportunity to share where you got your source from, because it makes no sense, and that's correct. The lawsuit is still ongoing, and so I'll explain to you what was filed yesterday. Yesterday, we filed a document called a Notice of Suggestion of Bankruptcy. That's what the document is called. It's public record, and Bishop, I provided you with a copy of it. You can post it. All it says is that, look, it notifies the court to let the court know that Tasha K filed bankruptcy. Therefore, the bankruptcy provides what's called an automatic stay against prosecutions and collection of debt against her.
All right, so Brian, hold on.
Okay, so that's the part where we get into what really happened. What happened is, because she filed bankruptcy, there's an automatic stay on all claims, and I guess, and they'll get into that Tasha K amended her, once she got sued, she amended her bankruptcy documents. Again, I don't know the schedules and all of that because I don't do bankruptcy. She amended it and she added Whitehead's lawsuit, but she didn't put 360 million. She put 360,000. Now they have a theory behind why she used that amount instead of the 360 million. But what I will show you is, yes, there was a stay, and what Brian Ponder is saying did occur. This is called the Notice of Suggestion that he was referring to. So the Notice of Suggestion that he filed, that was filed today, July 18, 2023, where it has, please take notice that comes now plaintiff Lamora Whitehead and suggests the filing of a Chapter 11 bankruptcy petition in the United States Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Division, by defendant Tasha K. The Chapter 11 petition was filed on May 5th, and it has the information of the case number. Please take further notice that plaintiff adverbs that on July 12, 2023, defendant Tasha K. by amendment to her Schedule E, listed plaintiff as a creditor. So she listed Whitehead as a creditor because of this lawsuit. Upon information and belief, defendant Tasha K. or her attorney Chad Van Horn intentionally, incorrectly, I'm assuming that he wanted to say put plaintiff's claim as for 360,000 when plaintiff clearly seeks damages of 360 million. In his claims against defendant Tasha K. Upon information and belief, defendant Tasha K. or her attorney Chad Van Horn intentionally misstated plaintiff's claims amount to qualify for Subchapter 5. So they are alleging that they believe that she purposefully put down the 360,000 instead of 360 million, because apparently there's a cap on how much you can have worth of debt, like 7.5 million or something, I believe they say, but he goes into that later. Please take further notice that Chapter 11 bankruptcy form submitted by defendant Tasha K. or her attorney Chad provide Making false statements in a bankruptcy case can result in fines up to $250,000 or imprisonment of up to 20 years or both. And then it has the statute, which is 18 U.S.C. sections 152, 1341, 1519, and 3571. Please take further notice that in light of the foregoing, further prosecution of this action is stayed by the automatic stay provision as to defendant Tasha K. So as it pertains to her, because of her being in bankruptcy, what he's saying is it stayed. Stayed and dropped is not the same thing. Drop means I voluntarily dismissed this case. So what he is trying to relate to the public is that there was a suggestion of bankruptcy filed to let the court know that this case is stayed. But they also sued Yellen Entertainment, which is the business portion. They are not, it's not stayed as it pertains to them. So there wasn't a text order that went in the court that said the case is stayed only as against defendant Kibi. There is no stay as to defendant Yellen Entertainment. And then it's further information, but we'll get into that once we get to that part. So that's what he is going to explain right now. But that's it in a nutshell, what this says, that this case is not dismissed. It was just simply stayed. So that's the document that he would have been referring to by saying, you know, you can look at the document and see that I didn't dismiss. Obviously on the docket it'll say dismiss. So I didn't see that it was a hearing today. It was some filings today, but I don't know if there was even a hearing today as was suggested. So I believe that's what's being referred to, but let's carry
on. Right there. Hold on a second, right? So for more lame terms, like for me and you guys that are not attorneys, like, no, I just want to just explain this, right? So what happened was, Tasha K, when we filed the $360 million lawsuit, Tasha K then sent my attorney, her attorney sent my attorney a letter stating that we need to dismiss the case because it should be a part of bankruptcy and so forth and so on. So just so that you guys know what my attorney was saying, because he got thrown off by this this fake blogger right here, this news reporter, he got kind of thrown off. But he was going into when Tasha K made the false statements about me, it was on or before May 25th. And since it was on or before May 25th, May 25th was the day she filed her lawsuit. So since our claim came before she filed the bankruptcy, therefore my lawsuit then become a part of the bankruptcy filed. So therefore she can protect her assets against Cardi B. Okay. So now her lawyer sent my lawyer a letter saying you need to dismiss it, trying to threaten us or whatever. And now Brian is about to go into what we just filed. So therefore you guys are getting an understanding that it wasn't dismissed. It's just a process. It's a legal process of what we had done. So for this fake newspaper dude, he put on his page that that it was a court proceedings today, and he actually told me that too. It was a court proceeding and all this stuff. It was never a court proceeding today at all. It was a filing by my attorney. So that guy right there, y'all need to unfollow him because he's a clout and a liar. It was no court proceedings at all today. But go ahead, Brian.
And to be clear, the North Carolina that paper and the guys in here, Mr. Gerald Jackson, he said he's not taking the article down. No one told him to take this article down. No one told him to take the article down. I just notified him of the falsity of the articles because it just makes him look like a bad paper. But if you want to publish, I actually copied and pasted what I emailed him and put it in the comment section of his Instagram. No one has told him to take the article down. I just clarified and showed him that what he's posting is just inaccurate. It just shows his lack, like I said earlier, his lack of integrity as a journalist. He's posting just inaccurate articles. The lawsuit against Tasha K simply is not dropped. You won't find any other paper that will say that because he simply is lying. And it just
Brian, you know what I found out? You know what I found out?
Go ahead.
Found out that he was on Tasha K's show twice or 3 times already. So he's a part of that whole wash. So enough with him.
Sure.
You already know he's a liar. And
Yeah.
once you start continuously with the facts, continuing with the facts, they're going to know the clout chaser and throw my name out there and Tasha K. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, but I didn't tell him that. I just gave the correct information because it's just simply incorrect. But the lawsuit is not dropped. What I was explaining earlier, Bishop, as you explained, when a person files bankruptcy, the law provides that anything that's going against them, it creates an automatic stay. What that means is it pauses everything against them so that they can regroup. That's what the bankruptcy law provides. And so it doesn't provide that lawsuits should drop. It just creates a pause. And now, as Bishop Whitehead said, the claim against Tasha K in this lawsuit is a part of the lawsuit because what happened, what's alleged that she did in the lawsuit occurred before she filed. And so this is part of the lawsuit.
Hold on. You're breaking up. You're breaking up back. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
I forgot I muted myself. My bad. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We are just going through the video. Like I said, it's about 40 minutes. Essentially, what I just explained, that the lawsuit was just stayed as it pertains to Tasha specifically because of the bankruptcy. That's essentially what's being explained right now. But he does have a portion where he goes into, I guess, speaking to Cardi B's attorney and some other allegations that he talked about as well.
We'll come back. So while Brian's come back, you fuzzy, but while Brian's coming back, he's breaking down the lawsuit. All right, you coming back? Are you clear now? Go ahead. I see that.
Oh, okay. So what I was saying is the bankruptcy law just provides for a pause, and because the lawsuit is about allegations and conduct that happened before she filed, it's a part of that bankruptcy. And so the bankruptcy court will tell us when we can proceed in it. And that's where we are. That's where that case is. So it's not dropped. It's fully active. And she filed for what's called a Chapter 11. When people hear bankruptcy, you think that they get to discharge debt. That's not the kind of bankruptcy she filed. She filed a Chapter 11. A Chapter 11 basically takes all the debt before that bankruptcy and allows you to reorganize it and pay it over time. And the kind of bankruptcy she filed, typically someone will have about 60 months to pay that debt. Now, what I find interesting about this is...
Brian, hold up. Listen, y'all, it's about to get sticky. Hold on. We got to set him up there. Hold on. Now, listen, for all the bloggers, I see my guy Wally up here. All the bloggers, get your pens, get your pads, get your calculators, because we're about to see how Tasha K has been fabricating stuff. And get your pens out because y'all going to see how she's trying to bamboozle the bankruptcy court because Cardi B is already on her neck for $4 million. Now Bishop Whitehead is on her neck for $360 million. And now she's trying to get away from Cardi B and Bishop Whitehead. And Brian is about to explain what a bankruptcy Chapter 11 is and what she filed, y'all, because she's getting on everybody, and she is lying, and she's trying to get around these lawsuits. All right, stop telling me to stop cutting them off. I gotta commentate this thing. All right, because my lawyer just tell you some law stuff and y'all be lost. So I want to bring it back down and get your calculators and get your pens, y'all, because y'all can talk about this. All right, so you said 60 months. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, so first of all, there are forms of bankruptcy, like a Chapter 7, where you can discharge debt and get a new start. That's a fresh start type of case. Well, that Cardi B type lawsuit, defamation judgment, you can't discharge that. So she can't discharge Cardi B. Just like Bishop Whitehead's lawsuit, when if he were to get a judgment of this type, it would not be dischargeable. And so keep that in mind. And so the type of lawsuit she filed, bankruptcy she files in Chapter 11. Chapter 11, you get to put together a repayment plan. And so right now she has her biggest debt is a $3.4 approximately $1 million debt owed to Cardi B. A payment plan can go up to 60 months. So in court documents from a recent hearing, she claims she only makes less than $4,000 a month.
Hold up. She says she makes less than $4,000 a month, y'all. I just want y'all to start hearing the lies. Start hearing the lies, because y'all been sitting here looking at this Tasha K, and she's been kicking Black America in the back. I don't see her talk about no white people, no Asian people, no Russian people. It's all about our kind. Here it goes. She says she only makes $4,000 a month. Lies, garbage, and trash. Go ahead, Brian.
Now, she attributes this to the fact that Cardi B has started seizing some of her money. Now, when the court inquired about how much Cardi B has gotten from her so far, she said $10,000. Okay. Now let's go back a little bit. Tasha K claims she spent $300,000 on lawyers to defend that case against Cardi B, and she spent allegedly about let's see, I have to pull up the number, but a much smaller sum of money trying to appeal.
I think it was 90. It was 390. 300.
So about $90,000 approximately trying to appeal. Okay. So far, she's not been successful in any of that. And as we know, Cardi B got the judgment. Now, again, back to how much money she makes. She claims under penalty of perjury that she makes under $4,000 per month per se. Now, keep that number in mind. Then she claims that she lives there in Fort Lauderdale, and when asked how much she pays in rent, she says $2,500. Okay, and this is a sworn testimony in a bankruptcy hearing. Now, later, when Cardi B's lawyer in the bankruptcy case comes on and asks her questions about her rent, I believe it was Cardi B's lawyer, it may have been someone else. I think it was Cardi B's lawyer. When asked her about her rent, he asked about the building, and she says it's a building owned by Grant Cardone, et cetera, et cetera. We're not going to really put it out there what building it is. But the lawyer had enough sense, and everybody has sense in this case, except her, because she's, thinks she's smarter than everyone.
And we know where you at, Tasha. Look.
So the lawyer said, well, I'm looking at the website for this building. There's no unit in this building that's $2,500. So how are you paying $2,500? Oh, well, that's just my portion of the rent. My husband pays the other half. Talking about crafty. Talking about crafty. And that's a nice way of saying
I'm still on mute. Sorry, guys. What he's talking about now is the Tasha K bankruptcy hearing. She had a hearing about a month ago. If those of you, there were a lot of people that did do commentary on it. Many people were able to hear the bankruptcy proceedings. It's one of them. There was Cardi B's attorneys, I know, were there. They asked her questions. Of course, there was someone from the IRS. There are various people that asked her a bunch of questions about her assets and what she paid and what her bills are. So what he's talking about right now is that during that hearing, there were questions about her rent, and she was saying she paid $2,500. Well, the lawyer looked it up and said, well, where you live at, there is no apartments that's $2,500. And so the response was, well, that's my portion. You know, like I pay half, so that's my portion or whatever. So they're just talking about different things that went on at this hearing, at the bankruptcy hearing. That's all that's happening right now for those that are wondering.
Shifty and line. So when someone says, what's your rent? You say $2,500. And when they ask more, come to find out the rent, she said, is about $5,400. Okay. So anyway, she's saying she makes under $4,000 a month. Why do I emphasize that? Well, in a Chapter 11 case, you're going to have to be able to sustain a repayment plan. And so let's just do some simple math. If you have, let me see, $3.4 million, and if you can pay it off in over up to 60 months, so divided by 60, that comes out to $56,000 a month. So if this is a personal bankruptcy for a debt that's personal to her, and she's only claiming that she makes less than $4,000 a month, how is she going to pay into a payment plan where she has to pay almost $57,000 a month? How does that work? Well, it doesn't work. She's not going to be able to do that. So this bankruptcy is not going to make it. As soon as they come up with a plan to address this Cardi B lawsuit, she doesn't qualify for it. She doesn't have the income. So where's the income coming from? Well, perhaps her channels, perhaps that money goes elsewhere. Where else could it go? Well, her husband allegedly produces and perhaps intercepts the money that's produced by all of those gossip channels. That company is called Yellen Entertainment, YELEN Entertainment. That's what her husband runs. She claims no ownership in that company, and that company basically allegedly produces all of her shows, YouTube, and and her other social media, whatever the case may be. So actually, Bishop Whitehead sued Yellen and sued her because Yellen produced the content and basically is responsible as her employer or producer of that content that's defamatory.
Let me say this just to clear this up. Everybody kept saying, why did you say you know where she at? Because she's been ducking service. I don't have to throw none of that nonsense, y'all. She's been ducking her personal service, but obviously she put me in a lawsuit. She knows what's going on. So that's why I said, right? I don't care. I don't got time to be threatening nobody, hurting nobody, none of that stuff, all right? We about this business, we about this money, and that's just what it is, all right? So, Brian, what I want you to get to, I want you to get to the good part, to the real good part of the different subdivisions of the Chapter 11.
Right. So back to the Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So hopefully you all understand now there are two types of bankruptcy, two basic types. One type where you discharge and get rid of debt and don't have to pay it. That's not what she can't do that because these types of debts can't be discharged in that way. The kind that she filed, Chapter 11, is basically a repayment plan. And according to her own sworn testimony, she cannot afford that. So she does not qualify for that. That's not going to be sustained. My guess is that bankruptcy will get dismissed at some soon point. Now, the type of bankruptcy she filed has something called a Subchapter V. Subchapter V is a subchapter of the Chapter 11 bankruptcy that allows a more streamlined process. The streamlined process allows of a more, I guess, inexpensive and streamlined case. To qualify for that, I believe your debts have to be under 7.5 million, I believe. She filed a Chapter 11. Someone put Chapter 13. No, she filed a Chapter 11. A Chapter 11 is like, I believe, a 13, and that's a repayment plan, but a Chapter 11 is usually for businesses or individuals with large debts, which is what we have here. So the Subchapter 5 can only be taken advantage of if your debts are under 7.5 million, I believe. The claims, the debt includes not only judgments, but claims against you, like Bishop Whitehead's lawsuit. So what they'll do is.
So someone asked in the chat, why did she add the claim to the lawsuit? Now, according to what, and again, I don't do bankruptcy law at all, but according to what Ponder is explaining, is that you also not just submit your judgment, you submit your claims as well. So that's supposed to be why she submitted the claim.
Take the lawsuit and see how much the person is trying to recover, and that becomes part of the claim amount. And so Bishop Whitehead's lawsuit pushes her above that threshold. And the reason that's significant is because her lawyer, Chad, I think Van Horn down there in Fort Lauderdale, wrote me a letter and was saying, you need to dismiss the case. My client filed bankruptcy, dismiss your case. And I was like, well, bankruptcy does not mean you have to dismiss a case. And he filed an amended list of creditors and included Bishop Whitehead's claim and put $360,000. Now, at first, I said, oh, well, that must be an error. And then when I thought about it, I was like, no, he knowingly and willingly, I allege, falsified the amount so that his client can continue in a Subchapter 5 fraudulently.
So you hear what he's saying is that the 300, which was in that suggestion of bankruptcy that I read earlier, what he is alleging is that when you do a Subchapter 5 that streamlines, I guess it moves faster according to him. When you do that, you can only have $7.5 million worth of debt. Now, if you put Whitehead's entire claim in there of 360 million or 350 million, whatever the amount was, of course she would surpass that. So what he's alleging is that wasn't extra zeros being left off. That was them trying to stay within that chapter, is what he's explaining, is what he believes happened. That's what he's alleging occurred.
Which is punishable. And by the way, I can read what happens.
And what he's saying is that it's fraudulent, basically, because you can't put that type of stuff on bankruptcy documents. Obviously, it's under the penalty of perjury. So he's going to read the statute, what was actually in that suggestion of bankruptcy that I read.
This is what the document that he wrote this on says. Making a false statement in a bankruptcy case can result in fines up to $250,000.
Thank you for stopping by, Thais. Have fun over there in Patreon. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Or imprisonment for up to 20 years or both. And that law is from 18 USC sections 152, sections 1341, sections 1519, and sections 3571. So
what he's saying, like, I hear you guys saying he hasn't won his claim. What he's saying, there has to be a reason why her attorney, it didn't make sense to me at first. I thought you just put judgments in there, but I'm not a bankruptcy attorney. What he's explaining, and apparently Tasha K's attorney agreed with that, is that claims also go in there. So if somebody's claiming that they were damaged and you have a potential of having a judgment in the future, what they do with that or how they calculate that, I don't really know, like how they calculate that. But that's what he's saying, is that also goes as just a claim. A claim is not a judgment. It's just, this is what you're claiming. This is what you're alleging. So that was, according to them, and I haven't double cross-checked Tasha K's bankruptcy documents, there wasn't a, but since, Ponder did put it in his suggestion of bankruptcy form, she amended and she added him as being a creditor. But she put 360,000 instead of 360 million. So he's giving his belief upon why she used those numbers, and that was just to qualify within that subchapter that she was trying to do it under.
So, yeah, so that false statement is really problematic because it appears that even her lawyer is trying to falsify these court records to streamline this process in that bankruptcy court. So, so that's what's happening. And so my guess is this bankruptcy case, Cardi B's lawyer indicated that they're going to be filing motions likely to dismiss the case. And it certainly appears that it won't make it, meaning certainly from the numbers she's given, unless her husband is going to give her a $60,000 salary raise a month, she's not going to be able to maintain any type of repayment plan in this bankruptcy to deal with Cardi B.
Sorry, guys. What he's saying is that he doesn't believe that the bankruptcy is going to hold up. Cardi B has found is supposed to file a motion to dismiss, and you had other bloggers that have given their opinions and commentary on the what they believe is going to happen in the bankruptcy. So that's what he's doing right now, is giving his belief that he doesn't believe, based on the numbers, that she qualifies for bankruptcy, is what he's going over now.
Lawsuit.
Well, so this is good. This is breaking everything. So what I'm saying is this: they did not report the accurate claim of $360 million on purpose. We allege on purpose because it keeps them underneath the $7.5 million that keeps them in the subdivision 5 of chapter 11. And this is what Tasha K does. And we was reading through the transcripts and stuff like that. How can we think about Brian, as far as the question, as far as we're talking about use booty baton bags and stuff like that? Can we say?
I gotta have some patience. Now, I told y'all it was gonna be 40 minutes, and I want to make sure that he gets his whole thought out in this 40 minutes. That's all I'm doing. Then we have another document to go over that was filed that was not discussed in this video.
Well, okay, well, there was some questioning of Tasha K regarding some of her assets. I mean, clearly she claims a super low income. They were inquiring about some of her assets and trying to get an understanding of, well, where in the world is she going to have the resources to even deal with this type of case. I don't think she understood the assignment when it came to that. She was trying to indicate poverty, and she doesn't understand. She's going to have to be able to indicate that she can actually perform under a repayment plan. And the court inquired upon her, or someone within the bankruptcy inquired upon her about some of her designer bags, because they want to be able to assign a value to it to figure out how much it's worth. And she claimed that she got them used and doesn't know or have receipts on these bags, and just being very, very evasive. And the evasiveness was really stood out when we were talking about rent. Had that attorney not inquired deeper about what the real rent was, it would look on its face that she pays $2,500 in rent when she really pays $5,400. And even that $5,400 she's talking about, it changes depending on utilities and things like that. you know what your rent is, okay? Utility, a rent does not ebb and flow with utilities. So the fact that she's evasive that much, I'm very concerned that at some point in this case, she's going to probably end up getting caught up with respect to those alleged lies between her and her attorney in that bankruptcy case, because it's clear she's not being honest and forthcoming. And again, I don't think she understands that she's going to have to be able to prove that she can even pay into a payment plan to deal with all these millions of dollars that she's trying to pay back. I don't think the case will survive. I think we'll be hearing in the near.
Y'all are brutal. Just listen to the information, okay? Jeez.
Future that the case may have gotten dismissed, and the stay that she's enjoying is a temporary one. At some point, the stay will come up when the case is dismissed, because she's not going to be able to pay into a payment plan. I mean, unless Cardi B say, hey, just give me $500,000 or $600,000 and $10,000 a month for 60 months. Unless that happens, unless Cardi B does that, which I seriously doubt, I don't think this case is going to be able to go forward in the bankruptcy court. And then what's going to happen is these lawsuits against her are going to just continue. Now, the case against her husband's company, Yellen, has moved forward. They've been served. Their attorneys have appeared. Of course, procedurally, they're trying to dismiss it. It's not dismissed. And we're going to move forward with that against her husband's company, Yellen.
What he's talking about there is, so the company Yellen, they did enter an appearance, and they have filed on yesterday. They were trying to get a date because it's their intent, it looks like, to try to file a motion to dismiss the case. So I'm going to pull up that document. We're going to take a pause. It's a little bit left here. We have 33 minutes. So it's probably about 10 minutes left. So I'm going to pull up what he's talking about. Let's pull this up. So the attorney filed this letter, and they essentially did what they call the memos, and they fill them out. So they're, dear Judge Kogan, we write on behalf of defendant Yellen Entertainment LLC, pursuant to this court's individual practice, to request a pre-motion conference regarding Yellen Entertainment's intended motion to dismiss the complaint and the above captioned case pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedures 12b-6. So they're trying to do it based on the pleadings. Yellen Entertainment is an entertainment company based in Florida that, among other things, produces Tasha K Live, a news and entertainment show on the YouTube channel starring Tasha K, who appears on the show as Tasha K, and discusses entertainment, celebrity news, and other matters of public interest and concern. Plaintiff Lamar Whitehead is a well-known and highly controversial public figure. By this account, he is a bishop and a commercial real estate investor. They're pulling stuff out of the complaint that Whitehead filed. He is also, well, not this part, but if you see the paragraphs, those came from the complaint. If it says COMPL and it has the paragraph signs, those are from the complaint. He is also a convicted felon who served 5 years in Sing Sing for multiple counts of identity theft. See People v. Whitehead, and it has the June 30th, 2008, has been sued civilly for allegedly defrauding a church out of its building. Glory of God Global Ministries, Inc. v. Whitehead, it has those court information, and is currently under federal indictment for wire fraud, extortion, and related charges. U.S. v. Whitehead, and it has the numbers. Whitehead also made headlines last summer after he was robbed at gunpoint and claimed the loss of $1 million in stolen jewelry. See, for example, Simon Van Zuylen Wood, the story of the bishop robbed during his church service, New York, and they got the link from New York Mag. On May 5th, 2023, Tasha K Live reported on the various controversies surrounding Whitehead. Her earlier interview of him on the show and the reasons why she decided not to publish certain allegations that Whitehead had encouraged her to report. Shortly thereafter, a second Tasha K live episode reported on a late night call from Whitehead in which he threatened to sue her for defamation. So then she got a footnote. So in footnote 1, these episodes appear to be the videos at issue in this case, as complaint refers to a May 2023 or late May 2023 Tasha K live without identifying the videos at issue by name, date, or link. And they put the complaint require, and then they put the court rules that require specific pleadings of the challenge statements. Yellow Entertainment reserves the right to raise any additional defenses if additional videos are challenged. We intend to file copies of the videos at issue with the proposed motion to dismiss. And if the court would like, we'll be happy to provide copies in advance of the conference. Based on the challenge statements, Whitehead purports to allege 2 claims for defamation per quad and per se, and 1 claim for invasion of privacy against Yellow Entertainment. See the complaint paragraphs 95 through 114. All of these claims fail as a matter of law. First, Whitehead's claims are barred because many of the challenge statements are fair and true reporting of judicial proceedings. New York Civil Rights Law, Section 74, providing absolute immunity from suit for the publication of fair and true reporting of any judicial proceedings, legislative proceedings, or other official proceedings. Chalawaski v. Civiletti. The videos discuss various judicial proceedings against Whitehead, including his conviction for using stolen identities to open credit accounts, Glory to God's civil suit accusing Whitehead of defrauding them, and his ongoing federal indictment. Statements about those judicial proceedings cannot be the basis of a defamation or other lawsuit. Further, to the extent the videos are republishing earlier reporting by reputable news agencies, they are also protected by the wire service defense. See Brian Lowe v. New York. Second, Whitehead's defamation claims are barred because most, if not all, of the challenge statements are not actionable as a matter of law. Statements of opinion and loose figurative and hyperbolic language are not actionable. Claims can only be based on provably false statements of fact. See Rendali v. Holt, and there's the citation. And it stands for the proposition that opinions, false or not, libelous or not, are constitutionally protected and may not be the subject of private damage actions, provided that the facts supporting the opinions are set forth. Many, if not all, of the challenge statements are Tasha K's opinions based on disclosed facts, are speculation about the future, or are the sort of loose hyperbolic language that is simply not actionable. Several of the challenge statements are also not defamatory within the meaning of the law. See Aronson v. Wiresman. And then it has that, and it stands for the proposition that if statements not reasonably susceptible of a defamatory meaning, they are not actionable and cannot be made so by a strained or artificial construction. Third, Whitehead's defamation claims fail because he is not alleged and cannot plausibly allege that the challenge statements were materially false. And it has the case law for that, which stands for this Tanmarite Sport LLC. I'm probably butchering these names, but you guys see it on here. In the Second Circuit, and it stands for the proposition that because falsity is an element of New York's defamation tort and falsity refers to material not substantially true, the complaint in this case must plead facts that, if proven, would establish that the defendant's statement were not substantially true. Several of the challenge statements are substantially true based on court records that can be considered on a motion to dismiss. And as to the other statements, Whitehead has offered only conclusory allegations of falsity without any factual allegations in support. Fourth, Whitehead's defamation claims fail because he has not alleged facts plausibly suggesting that Yellen Entertainment acted with actual malice as required by the First Amendment and New York anti-SLAPP law. And then it has that case law, Byro v. Conde. They got some names here. And that stands for the proposition that public figures must plead facts plausibly suggesting that the defendant published the challenge report with actual malice, that is, with knowledge that the statements were false or the reckless disregard of their falsity. Whitehead is a public figure. New York Civil Rights Law 76, requiring allegations and proof of actual malice in cases involving matters of public concern. That is the anti-SLAPP law. Whitehead references only the incorrect lesser standard of negligence and gross irresponsibility, and even then he offers only conclusory allegations without pleading any facts plausibly suggesting either. Fifth and finally, Whitehead's right of privacy claim must be dismissed. Yellen Entertainment was not engaged in advertising, but rather reports of newsworthy events or matters of public interest, namely a federal indictment and other legal claims against a prominent preacher, which cannot be the basis of Section 51 claim. See Burrick v. Mars, Inc., outlining elements of a privacy claim. It is clear that a civil rights law sections 50 and 51 does not lie where the plaintiff's photograph is used to illustrate a newsworthy article. For all these reasons, Yellen Entertainment respectfully requested the court schedule a pre-motion conference, set a briefing schedule for the intended motion to dismiss and dismiss Whitehead's complaint with prejudice. So what they are asking the court, because I believe they have a conference that's set up already in August, they want to set up a scheduling conference on when their brief would be due and when the response will be due. And so what the court did was, in the text, when they said that the case is stayed against only Kebe, there's no stay against the defendant, and plaintiff still has to comply with the court order, which basically says that Whitehead and them have to respond, I guess, to this memo that was presented. So no, this is not their motion, but I guess that what they're doing is setting forth what's going to be, giving a summary of what the basis of their motion is going to be, and therefore they want a scheduling conference so they can do this as their first response, a 12B motion, and so they're trying to get dates. So there's that. So now we can go back and we can finish this off. See, that was a nice pause. We're almost finished, guys. We're almost finished.
Right. So listen, who's this girl? Life journey. I understand that it goes in, and I do my job with that. However, I get to do what I want to do on my page. And if General, if he has any my voice going anywhere in New York, you cannot record me. You can go to prison for that. So I don't know what's putting up. This guy is trying to clout tricks, which I really don't care. Let him do his thing, but needs to be careful. And just to close everything up, I just want y'all to understand this. I do what I want to do with my page. Okay, I do what I want to do with my. Okay, if I decide.
Again, guys, this is not my internet. This is directly off his page. I think everybody that was recording it kind of thought it was theirs, but this is directly off of his page.
I'm going to file a lawsuit. You guys don't understand what happens behind the scenes. Okay, my attorney understands how this stuff affects me. You guys see me come up here. You guys see me up here and smile, and you guys close doors. You don't see how life get me down. Tasha K said that Foxy Brown was giving me credit card information.
Don't repeat.
Okay. Well, yeah. So these are she has defamed me, and why is this saying I'm breaking up? You might got to go out and come back. She has defamed to the utmost, and I'm going to defend myself at all costs. Okay, I'm doing so. This is the first and the last time I'm going to explain to you guys why I'm using my civil right to sue to protect me. And you guys need to be aware of that. You guys need to, if somebody has taken something from you, if somebody has defamed your name, y'all run around here. I get so many inboxes. Bishop, this person owe me this, and I'm living in this house, and the landlord is not doing this, and should I sue him? This is the person that you should call. Inbox him. See if he can help you. It ain't free, but inbox him. See if it can help you. I'm trying to show this generation how to do things business-wise. This is business. I'm not saying, oh, I'm gonna punch him.
So yeah, that's pretty much the end of that. That's the end of it. Where he kind of gives ponders, I think, his personal information if people would like to hire him for, hire him for his services. So hopefully this explains to you guys what was going on today. Again, I was sleep, and I decided to come on. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick on that other case. I'm not sure if I can, because you guys keep asking about this other case I talked about on. Now, Whitehead did respond, and he essentially said that there was some mistake, and I am referring to the Tarsha Jones matter. He essentially said that there was a mistake with the court, and he said that it's going to be reinstated. And I am going to pull up this docket real quick. Hopefully I could do it for you guys before we get off of here, so I can eat, because I haven't eaten today. Y'all bear with me one moment. I'm trying to find this court number right quick. This court case number for this Jones case. So you guys can see what I reported on. I have no reason, just like he had information here where it wasn't dropped, I have no reason to half report. It doesn't behoove me. It don't help me one bit. So again, if he has anything else that comes forward, I have absolutely no problem reporting that as well. So let me see. I am about to share my screen again and show you where I got. Is this gonna come up? Please let this come up. If windows don't come up. Oh, there it is. This is the case right here. It has disposed. Lamar Whitehead versus Tarsha Jones. This is all the information that is on here. You have the summons and the complaint. I'm going over it so you guys see. This is the whole docket. There was a stipulation with a time to answer. All this was last year. You can see the dates over here on this side. Notice of a motion. So the first thing that Tarsha's team did, they filed a motion to dismiss. That's what you see, all of those. Transcripts were filed. We went through all of that. This was last year. This was December of 2022. Affidavits. These are all, you can tell who filed them because it'll say the name of who filed them. So these are all Sullivan. In May 5th of 2023, Brian Ponder did an amended complaint. It also looks like he may have corrected something on July 10th of 2023. Maybe that's what Whitehead is talking about. That is listed that there was some type of correction on the verified complaint. If you go all the way down, okay, there's another notice of motion that was filed on May 25th. Again, I didn't go over that. When they amended it, I was just like, okay, we'll just wait to see what the outcome is. Well, there was another notice of motion because now that they filed the amended complaint, remember when they filed the original complaint, the response was a motion to dismiss. So now they decided to file an amended complaint. They said, okay, well, we're going to withdraw our first motion and we're going to respond to this second motion. So now you see a notice of a motion filed May 25th. They got their memorandum of law, the affidavits and stuff from the attorney, all their exhibits. You see it's 16 exhibits. Then you have an attorney that was trying to be admitted pro hoc vice because they're not from here. I want look at all of this. So this is all of them. The decision and order on the motion was filed July 11th. There is nothing else to tell me to go anywhere else. There is nothing else that says anything else. It has case status disposed. That's all I got. So again, he did mention, thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate it. That was very, very kind of you. I thank you. So I don't have a dog in a hunt. I have no reason to, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take it personal. I know people like to see that and try to entice me or my husband to try to get mad because he calls me names. It's fine. I'm just going to continue to report on the documents. That's all I do. So again, you guys see it for yourself. It's not nothing I made up. That doesn't mean that what he's saying is inaccurate, where perhaps in the future something is going to come up where it was a mistake and it gets reinstated or it's an appeal. And if that happens, I'll report on that as well. But I'm showing you guys the actual docket. So if you guys want to ask, I don't know what else to tell you. So I don't know, y'all. That's cool. Child, I just showed you what's on there. If it's more to it, again, he mentioned something about, and I think I got his video. I chopped it up and I tried to take out some of, he was dragging me or whatever. And I tried to take some of the name calling out, but it is what it is. He talked about it. So I'll play it. Let me see. I think I have it. Oh yeah. He said this is what happened. So he's entitled to his response to what he's saying occurred. I'm just going by the docket. I don't have access to your attorney's, email. And apparently there were emails going back and forth. I don't have access to that. So that doesn't mean that my reporting isn't accurate because I don't have access to that. I only can do what's, on the screen. What's available to me, that's public. I'm not a part of your case. So let me see if I can find it. I chopped it up a little bit. So that doesn't bother me. You guys don't have to, email me. He talked about you again. Like, that's cool. That's fine.
To one another, man. We continuously, and I'm a whole preacher, no matter if they like it or don't. It's like they coming at me like I'm a Negro on the streets. But it's cool, because I come from the streets. I just want to encourage each and every one of y'all to, fight for yours, man. Somebody talk about you, right? Get your paper game up. Get your paper game up, man. All right. She shared the documents. All right. And then you got this daggone reject lawyer Pam. All she do is talk about me. And it's always a negative inference of me. So she turns it. She turns it, whatever the legal paper is, she'll turn it to make it sound even worse. And then she just reported that I'm suing what's the girl name? Miss Jones from the radio station. Remember Miss Jones, y'all? The one that had like one R&B song and just flopped. And then she was on, I think, the Ed Lover show back in the day, y'all, Hot 97. So now she's on 94.7 The Block. She called me a drug dealer. She said I'm hot and old.
And what I will say, I don't know if it's like in his defense, but what I will say is I've had several people that try to contact me, and I don't report what they say, because my thing is this: go take your issue with him. I'm really like doing documents. It's not fair to me. It's not like I'm trying to be unfair in any way. I'm just really going over the documents, and he just had a lot of cases. I have heard that he has never done drugs and he has never sold drugs. So that is one thing that I have heard that people have said that was, if you want to say, positive. So I will say that. I don't know the context, like I said, of what was happening. I didn't read all the transcript with what was said from Miss Jones. But apparently, from what I understand, it was taken out of context, I think is what they argued. But child, let me go ahead and finish this. It's only a couple of minutes, y'all.
Drug money in the church. She said, if you come to Bishop Whitehead's church, you might get beat up. She said so much stuff. So She has, I think her and her radio station, we have like $150 million.
So you said Jonesy did not call him a drug dealer. All right, listen. Apparently the court dismissed it. So listen.
Lawsuit on her. Yeah, that Miss Jones. Yeah. So, listen, y'all. I'm trying to educate y'all. You ain't got to fight unless they try to put their hands on you. And let me tell you something. Lord Jesus, I want you to try that one. I like that one. Woo. That one just got me excited. But yeah, you don't have to threaten nobody and do no bodily harm and nah. You hit them where it hurt, they pockets. Cause that's where they hitting me. That's where they hitting me. All this fraudulent media is everybody is talking about these lies, and you killing my name. So you're gonna learn today. And this other, I don't know, these guys is crazy. But no, it was not dismissed. So let me just tell y'all what happened. Yeah. Baldhead Pam said it was dismissed. So what happened was, she ain't gonna tell you everything. But what happened was,
so y'all seen I just showed the whole entire docket that is public record. That's all I got. Anything else that you got between the court and your lawyer and whatever's happening next, until it gets filed, I don't have it to report. That's what you have to understand. Unless you got something that's filed and you want to email me or DM me or something, I don't have nothing to report but what's out there. So it's not personal. And the fact you try to make it personal, like I'm some petty lawyer out here, it's not that deep for me. It just really is not. And I don't think you understand. He understands that. But I go on.
Was the courts inaccurately sent out a paper saying that it was dismissed because it was in their error, but they corrected it because they didn't see the opposition for whatever reason. But it was
so that's what he's saying, is they didn't see the opposition, and so they dismissed it in error, is what he's saying. So that's pretty much what he's saying occurred. And I get, you guys can tell me what people say in the chat, just like people contact me and tell me a bunch of stuff. If you're not willing to show your face and stand up on this platform and say, Sue said this about this man, I'm not reporting that. I'm reporting what's in the documents. It's not that deep for me that I got to go out and, because it's salacious, I'm just going to report it. So whether he believes it or not, I know the integrity that I have. So I'm not concerned about that. I'm not concerned about what he thinks of me. I'm really not.
mistake, an honest mistake by the courts. They didn't see the opposition, and they had prematurely, since there wasn't an opposition, because the courts asked for us to amend something, and because we already filed the opposition, but they asked for an amendment, and we put our amendment in. They must have overlooked it and thought we did not oppose, so they had put in a dismissal, but they immediately fixed it, and the courts emailed my attorney and let them know that it was their mistake, and they vacated that order, and the proceedings are going forward. But Baldhead Pam is not going to say that. So that's how demons operate. Demons only tell you one side of the story. And that's how they operate, because y'all, let me tell you, y'all getting her followers up off of my name, and she making money off my name every day. It's Bishop Whitehead. I said, dang, boy, I tell you, your husband gotta be jealous.
I ain't even about to be talking about, but he's saying every day. That's what I talk about is him. I have been on Melly every day for a month, but it's okay. It's cool. Not a problem. So anyway, I showed you guys that docket. So I don't know what else. I don't know what else you want me to do to show you that, child. It just is not that deep for me. Again, let me pull the docket up again. For those that just got here, This is the docket. The last thing filed was on July 11th, and it's a decision and an order and a motion. If you click on that, it shows decision and order, dismissal. That is the last thing that is filed. I have absolutely no reason to just make that up. It's just not that deep for me. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this live. Let me look at a few of your comments before I go. Once again, from the very beginning, last year, he told us to do our research on him. That's what Pam has been doing. Nothing more, nothing less. Can't get mad at the research, just and say what he wants. That's it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. We know you check regularly, and if anything has changed, I'll let you know. And the only reason why, like with Glory of God, I haven't really reported on that because the whole thing was we knew there was an order, there was an eviction. That's what we were following. The ownership is all over the place. I don't have anything to report on that. I don't know. Michael Moses saying that they own it. Whitehead is currently in his name. And then you had Glory of God that was saying it was fraudulently taken from them. So they have about 4 lawsuits literally going. They're doing a motion to combine them all, and it's going to be a trial. It's going to be something that occurs where the court is going to have to decide who owns it. But right now, the occupancy was the person who was there was Glory of God. That's where they were worshiping. There was an order allowing them to stay. So that's what we were following because honestly, we don't have anything to know what the ownership is. I believe there probably was some conversation between Whitehead and Moses and them. I don't know what that is, and I don't have any information. That's just my opinion. So, of course, I'll keep an eye to see where that goes and who ends up, if Gloria God is able to prove that they was fraudulently taken. We do know that there was a tax foreclosure, which Moses and them were the ones that became the trustee and bought it and all of that stuff. So we know that happened. And we also know that a month or so ago, Whitehead filed him a deed and said it was his. And there's also a mortgage note that he has filed and attached to a document saying that he took out a mortgage or something. So there's a lot in that case. So it's nothing really for me to report until we figure out who the owner is. Our focus was on the occupancy because I saw an order that said that Glory of God was supposed to be able to stay in that church. Now they're in litigation trying to figure out who owns it and who don't own it. So that's all that's happening right there. So anyways, you were just going to ask about Glory of God. Yeah. But anyways. Oh, yeah, Andrea. I probably, there was a document. It was over a $3 million mortgage that he filed. In a response, he did a dismissal. So there's a lot of things going on in that case, and it's all over the place. When it comes to ownership, when it came to the eviction portion, Glory of God had a order that said that they were supposed to be ordered back in the building. That's what we covered. Now they have other issues because now everyone is claiming ownership. So now they're trying to figure out who the owner is. So we'll see that, I guess, as it unfolds. So that's that. Anything else? I see my niece Asia that made it over here. Asia, you're funny. I know, child. This belly case is the bomb. You guys check out my video from earlier because even if you have not been following that case, I went over the lawsuit, which gives facts so you guys can understand this belly case. This case has been exciting. It has been boring. It has been time consuming. I don't know if I will ever stream a case again because I got caught up in the game. I've been doing this for a month. And it's funny because I'll have it streaming. I'm going to do a deposition. I literally had devices in rooms so that I could still work. I've streamed and left and had to go mail some stuff off. I've streamed and had to drop stuff off to clients, and it's just going. It's been a roller coaster. But shout out to all the ones that have been watching with me. I'm sorry. Today it was some copyright issues, child. And they was like warning me about about some copyright issues, and I was like, oh, no, you don't got to warn me more than one time. We about to just discuss this. I'm not streaming not a nothing through my page where they're going to be trying to strike my stuff. You caught up as well? That's good. He said, Gloria, God got it. You know what, Miss V. All right, you guys. Thank you guys. 452 in here. Shout out to you guys. Shout out again to the Kathy Fields for the $50. I appreciate that. Was very, very kind of you. You didn't have to do it. And so I appreciate when you guys do. I also got a Cash App. Let me make sure I shout you out for the Cash App. Let's see. And then Faith Speaks. I appreciate you. And LaVersa, you also did one yesterday. I think during the Melly or something. I can't remember, but yeah, you always looking out for your girl. I appreciate it. But again, you guys have any questions, you guys keep the emails and stuff coming. And that's that. Oh, I did want to say shout out to my favorite client, Martha Reeves of Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. She just turned 82 today. 82. That is crazy. I just had her. She was out performing today. She still be performing, child. She get more doggone. I don't even know if I want to play this. Okay, no, they've been a copyright strike me again. This is her out here performing today, baby. Let me turn it down so y'all can see how she moves. She always impresses me because I'm like, oh, I'm lazy. And she out there performing today, 82. Don't she look good, y'all? I love me some Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. She's so dope. And she's still touring and everything at 82. Anyway, I love you guys. I am out of here. You guys have a good evening.
Yeah. So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest. Not a bit of complice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge. They don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like. Wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because their agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifted. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.